All right, welcome back to Building Dad Bod 2.0. During the summer cut, I've been working on doing heavy deadlifts with my farmer carry handles. I worked up to a max of 487 pounds total. So I had the question from Lucky how my max trap bar deadlift compared. I don't normally trap bar deadlift, so I had no idea. So we're going to find out today. So this last rep was 453 pounds. I've never trap bar deadlifted more than 440 in my life. We're going here for 503. This would be by far the heaviest I've pulled other than a rack pull. Right, so obviously higher than a conventional deadlift, but first time I pulled over 500 pounds from below my knees in my life. Super happy with that. Went for 515 and just couldn't quite get it off the floor, so decided to go for it again. Felt my right hand starting to lift, but my left hand just couldn't keep up. Kind of kicking myself. I should have went to straps and tried, but 541 pounds. But left it there and went straight into block pulls. So here we go, starting the block pulls at 541 pounds. Nice and easy, no problem at all there. 585, again, nice and easy, no problem with the grip, no problem with the power up off the blocks on that. So I didn't really know what to expect on these block pulls. 630. I've never done a trap bar block pull before. I've done lots of rack pulls, about 550 pounds on rack pulls, but to be honest, I really like these because there's no bar in the way. I always find rack pulls a little bit awkward. These do not feel awkward at all. See there, I was absolutely amped to hit over 600 pounds. So 651 pounds, especially with no straps, just raw grip on these. Now, and obviously not nearly as hard as doing a barbell with a spinning bar, but there you go. Grip failed me at 651, could not get it. So I decided at this point to throw the straps on because I didn't want the grip to be the failing point on these. It was hard, but managed to power through at 651. So again, I was excited about that. And I think it's making it sweeter because I've been in the cut for 3.5 weeks. I'm setting PRs on all this, but even more so than that, like 4 years ago when I was laying in a hospital bed after having my back fused and discs removed and all sorts of work done on my lower back. I really didn't know what my capabilities were going to be moving forward to load my spine. For several years leading up to my back surgery, I couldn't load my spine. I couldn't even hip hinge forward at all without having major nerve episodes that would just cause me intense nerve pain for months at a time and basically cripple me. So while I may never be the strongest guy out there, I'm absolutely loving hitting these lifts. With each heavy lift, each PR, my confidence is growing. I'm honestly at 46 setting strength PRs. I'm having the time of my life. Okay, Zercher lockouts now. You saw me hit 440 on the second attempt there. The first one I stumbled back on. 470 I had threw the belt on. It felt way easier, and then I realized it was sitting on the buckle of the belt. So I managed to hit 500 next, and now we're going for 550. All right, managed to get 550. It moved really nice. Next up, 600. This was where it started to get harder to break it off the rack, but managed to get it to break and move. Then we had 652 plus chains. That was a struggle. I managed to get it up off the rack. First, I didn't realize whether it was actually up on the left side or not. I thought it was, but then watched back, and it definitely was up on the left side. There's 75 pounds in chains when they're fully unloaded, but I have no idea how much weight they're adding to the lift here. If I had to guess, I'd say 35 pounds. I think it went up. Can tell if the left side went up. All right, so that one's 652 plus chains. Took every last ounce of energy I had in the cut. Was a little lightheaded for a second there, but was fine. Pointing there to my abs, I had popped blood vessels across my stomach where the bar was sitting on top of my belt. And then also wanted to show with the physique that just these last couple days, I'm starting to notice I'm looking a bit leaner. Every couple pounds now will make a big difference. All right, now we did leg press, 3 sets of 20 with 500 pounds. So when I was bulking, my max set was a set of 20 at 605 pounds, but I only had one set that day. So I was really happy to hit all 3 sets here. Third set, I got to rep 13 and I thought I was going to die. It was really hard to crank out the last 7 reps, but managed to get there. But I want to go back to the Zerchers for a second here. So the lockout's obviously inspired by Spencer. He did a 1,000-pound Zercher lockout for 1,000 subscribers. So I wanted to see what I could do on those. The chains I just threw in because I always, obviously Spencer trains everything with accommodating resistance. There's always chains, and I always give him the comment, no chains, no gains. So of course, if you're going to pay tribute to the Zercher King, you got to throw the chains on. In reality, I'm just counting the straight weight, so 652-pound lockout. even though it was probably closer to 680, 685, somewhere around there. Now, the biggest thing I found with the Zercher lockouts was they're obviously easier with my belt, both because I could brace harder, but also bar kind of sat across the top buckle. And what it did, obviously, still got to lift the weight, but what it did was it stopped the bar from wanting to roll. Once I got up over 500 pounds, the bar kept wanting to roll down my arms, which I'm sure I'll get more comfortable with the movement as I do it more. I'm going to start adding these in for timed holds, just to prepare my body to do some heavier Zercher deadlifts. I think I'll start with 500-pound holds and see if I can get up to like around 10 seconds per hold. Should be a really good way to prepare my body and my nervous system for these heavier Zercher deadlifts. I've been doing a lot of sandbag work lately too, so holding that Zercher out front will be really good for sandbag carries, sandbag box squat, stuff like that. And I think it'll help my low bar squat too, like keeping that weight out in front and staying upright will increase that strength that I need for my squats. As my ability to hold weight there gets stronger too, I want to start adding Zercher squats into my routine this fall. So I finished off the workout hammering my posterior chain with a circuit on the reverse hyper GHD combo. Did razor curls, sets of 16 on here. Tried to do them nice and slowly, keep tension on the hamstrings. Then I went into weighted back extensions and finished off with reverse hypers. So I did 2 sets total on here. Completely gassed by the end of this. After doing 3 sets of 20 on leg press with 500 pounds, I was literally running on fumes. But I PR'd 3 heavy lifts and then hit a ton of volume to finish off with. So I'm really happy with how things are going in the cut. And one piece of advice I have for people, if you're in a cut, it can be draining, it can be mentally and physically exhausting, but what I've done this time that I've really liked is I've hit some new variations. So like I say, I don't trap bar deadlift normally. I don't do Zercher deadlifts normally. So I'm adding them in, and because they are a very new movement to me, or at least a movement that I don't do often, I'm able to build them up quickly. I'm able to PR on them as my nervous system's adapting. So it's one of those things where the cut's hard enough without watching your strength go down week by week. So if you pick some variations, especially ones that will benefit your lifts that you're looking to do when you're bulking again, keeps it exciting when you every week you feel like you're getting stronger, even if it's just nervous system adaptations or getting more proficient at a movement pattern that you don't do often. It gets you excited to get in the gym, gets you excited to train. And if you're cutting, it's hugely important that you're in the gym moving weights. And I don't mean, oh, I'm cutting, so I'm going to do the lightest weights possible because I don't want to push myself too hard. You need to be in the gym. You need to be given good amount of effort so that you can maintain that hard-earned muscle that you put on during the bulk. If you go into the cut and lose all the muscle that you put on, it makes no sense. It's absolutely absurd, especially the older you get. Muscle is a precious commodity. Do everything you can to build and maintain it. That's it for the workout. Thanks for watching. Here's a throwback picture from last summer. Have a great night.